Hello everyone, Vita's A42 back with another How to Play. Today we're looking at how to play the game Telos, or Telos, however you pronounce it. Uh, it's a Greek themed trick-taking game. This is by Jolly Dutch, designed by Audrey Drent. And it's a trick-taking game where you simply, similar to some other games that we're looking at, or like Goody Tama, which I've looked at, or we'll be looking at. I don't know if it's before or after this one that I got it scheduled, but it's the type of game where you don't want to win the last trick because you will get points, and whoever gets to 32 points first loses the game, and everyone else is a winner. So basically, you just don't want to lose this game. It's an interesting trick-taking game in that way. It's not about being a winner; it's just about not being the loser. And the winners get to feast like kings, and the losers, you get nothing. You lose. The loser, I should say. And it's also kind of interesting in a couple other ways. Now, let's look at what you get. In the game, you get 104 of these God cards, which have numbers 2 through 13, and there is 8 different sets. You're going to use a certain amount of sets per player count, so I've removed a couple here. You also get these Zeus cards, which can have different abilities if you want to play a more advanced mode. And we won't do that for this how to play. But you're going to use one per player, so I'm going to remove two. And so we have everything here set up for a four-player game with 4 Zeus cards and uh, a certain number of sets. It is 6 sets for 4 players, or suits. Um, you can use all 8 for 6 players, only 5 for 3 players, 7 for 5 players. And again, it's a 2 through 13 in specific colors. I will say some of the colors are kind of similar, so it makes it a little bit difficult to separate them, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. I got rules here in a couple of languages. I'll put that aside. And you could choose which Zeus cards you want to use in the game, or just pick them at random. If you're not using the abilities, it doesn't matter too much. I can talk about that a little bit. And you will choose one person to be the dealer. Person left of the dealer, I believe, is the start player. Yes. 13, of course, is the highest card of value. 1 is the lowest. And I'll talk about the Zeus cards, I guess. Zeus cards, the basic rules are as follows. It's a special card. Usually it's beneficial to the player using it, but not always. It always will be equal to the highest card played in the trick. So if I play this and there's a 7 in the trick, it's a 7, basically. It can never be the lowest card in your hand, so you cannot use it if you cannot follow. You can never use it to start a new trick, except if it's the last trick. Only in the last trick can you lead with a Zeus card. In the final trick, the Zeus cards will change in value, considering them as a value of 20. So if you play this in the last round, you're going to win, unless somebody else also plays a Zeus card. And if you do win the last trick with a Zeus card, you will gain 20 points. So you really don't want that. You don't want to have the Zeus card for the last round, because it's going to suck. Because 20 points, you only need 32 to lose. So you don't want to get 20 points like that. There are some special rules with the Zeus cards, with each one having a different symbol on it. You don't have to use those rules. That's for the advanced games, so I'm not going to go into it. But they give you different things like forcing the next person, being able to lead the next trick if you play a certain card, or preventing players from playing multiple cards into a trick, playing the lowest card. Uh, Whoever played the lowest card gets to lead the next trick. Swapping the direction of play from left to right. Um, and so forth. They have different abilities, basically, which we won't get into any more than that. So I'll put that aside. You're going to shuffle the cards, and you're going to deal out 7 to each player. Put this aside. And then you put the rest aside. Now, in the first trick and the last trick, you're only allowed to play 1 card. But in between that, you can actually play like a pair or a free of a kind if you have. That they have to be the same value. There's no runs or anything like that. It's not a ladder climb. Not really a ladder climbing game. It's a trick taking game. You just can, play multiple cards. But we'll say I'm the start player. I got 2 Zeuses. I cannot lead with a Zeus. So I will play a 7. This guy will play, let's say he has to follow suit, I believe. Or, I can't recall. I don't believe you have to follow suit from what I'm thinking here. Yeah, you just have to play a card that's the same or higher value. So this guy will play, let's say, an 8. This guy will play a 10. And this guy maybe plays a 13. They have to. They have no choice. I believe if you cannot play highest, let me just verify that. Yes, so it's similar to like Gudetama and other games that I've looked at before. If you cannot play the highest card in your hand, if you cannot play a card that is the same value or higher than what was played, for instance, if this guy did not have a 13 or 10 or anything like that, you would have to play the lowest card in his hand. But they win the trick. Now you can actually play where you can play multiple cards at the same value if you have. Like this guy can play 2 4s. This would force everyone else to play 2 4s or higher. So I could do that. I can play 2 4s. I'm going to use my Zeus and get rid of it. This guy has to pass because he cannot play a pair. Actually, I want to double check that. If you could just play a higher value. Yes, you have to play the same number of cards and higher value, usually. Same or higher value. So this guy also can't play. So I would win, and I would get to lead the next one. And I will play a pair of threes. Why not? This guy cannot play a pair, so he's going to pass. This guy also can't play a pair, so he passes. And then this guy cannot play a pair, so he passes. Now remember, in the last trick, you cannot play multiple cards. You can only play 1, I do believe. Yeah, you can only start the last trick once every player has only 1 card left in their hand. I'm confused. Oh, you know what? I am stupid. Let's rewind here a bit. I don't remember who had what for sure. But I remember I played this, and I also played this, and this guy played a pair of 4s. So, I gotta rewind. I forgot. So, this guy plays a pair of 4s. I have to play also a pair, ideally, or 2 cards. So, I'm gonna play this pair of 4s as well. The next person must still play 2 cards. You're always going to play cards even if you can't follow the pair. So if you can't play a pair, you're going to play 2 cards. You have to play the same number of cards individually higher than what's on the table already. And again, if you can't play higher, you have to play lower. So this guy can play, for instance, just 6 and a 9. And then this guy can play, um, well, I guess technically he can play 7 and a 13 because they're individually higher than what was previously played. And so he would win, and he would get to lead the next trip. So for the next one, he says, screw it out, we're going back to 1 card. He's going to play 5. This guy will play 6. I will play this as a 6 to get rid of it, and then this guy will play this as a 10. So this guy's going to lead. He's going to play a 4. This guy will also play a 4. This guy will play a 5, and I will play a 13. Then I will play a 13. Now, nobody else can beat that, so this guy has to play his lowest card. This guy has to play his lowest card, and this guy has to play his lowest card, unfortunately. So I win. And remember, you just don't want to win the last trick. So I got a 3. This guy also has a 3, and a 2. So it's going to be this guy who played the last 3 that would win the trick. If there's more than one of the same value, that's how it works. The last card played into it will win. And then you score. And it's just like Gudetama. So this player, I'm going to take all these cards, shuffle them back into the game. This player gets to keep this free as free points. You then reshuffle, redeal the cards. Not these ones. And play another round. And you keep playing until one person has accumulated 32 or more points. And once that happens, they lose the game. Everyone else is a winner. So that's Telos, the basic game. Again, there's some variants you can add with some slightly different rules and using the powers on the Zeus cards and which Zeus cards you use, basically. But that's basically the game. The cards are decent enough quality, no linen finish or anything, in case you're wondering. And this one is available. I mean, I got it from Zatri Games in the UK. Haven't really seen it too much elsewhere, but it's out there if you're interested. So that is that. Comment, like, subscribe. That is Telos, and we'll see you next time with more. Thanks for watching.